Hey, good morning.
Hey, Bobby.
Oops.
This puppy's live.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
That was me.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Technical things, you have to turn on the noise.
We're live, just FYI.
Yeah, I know. I'll stop swearing. Good morning, everybody. Hey, George Graham just jumped on. George gave me some good news yesterday. He's got a call from the folks over at Restaurant Managers, so he's ready to pretty much rock and roll maybe sometime next week with getting those markets lit up. If you guys remember, George brought to the table Restaurant Managers, which they have about 20,000 restaurants on their platform, and they're giving us 4 markets to develop for them, which probably was about 1,800 restaurants. So they've been behind at their own corporate offices with some of the things they're doing, upgrading their systems and technology. So they slipped us back in the loop, I guess, last week. They were asked us, please be patient, which I thought was a good sign. They really want us to, get out in front of this and get these markets open for them. And they're really excited about it. So they're really going to be great partners for us. They're a Fortune 100 company, New York Stock Exchange. So really, shows the strength of our business model by them coming to the party, along with some other ones that are coming now also. So good on you, George. Nice job. Some of the people already passed me by. Let's see, I can scroll back down. Miles, hey, I just saw that you hooked up a couple more restaurants in Nashville, so great. So Miles has been working it there. We're moving up quite rapidly in the last week or so on putting additional, we're getting 2 to 3, 5. I think we had 35 new restaurants over about an 8 to 10 day period, and it just continues to get better. And the guy, good morning, Dwayne. So this guy is the rock solid, the anchor in that market in Nashville. He's the go-to guy. If we got a problem, he gets on it right away, or if somebody needs a tablet or something fixed, Dwayne's in his car on his way over to that restaurant. So he's made it pretty easy for the market from the standpoint of getting things fixed. Also, and you'll see, we're learning a lot about the business, about what we need in a market to really get it turned on and fired up. So it's real important for us to talk about that, and we're going to go over some of that stuff today, some of the exciting things that Tony and I talked about the other day, and we're going to be putting into play. I'll go over that with you in a little bit, but I think it's going to also switch the dynamics again on stuff we do. It's learn and take from your mistakes and make them, your advantage. Let's see, Deborah, hello, Deborah Emery. Jim Clover, Mike Jones. Hey, Mike, good seeing you again. Miles Daniels just made a comment. Say good morning. Chris, I shot you back a text this morning. Chris, great call yesterday with your folks, and we're excited to have you on board and really, working real hard to open that Chicago market. We hadn't even talked about it with anybody, but Chris and his team are going to rock the greater Chicago market there, and they're already started. So we had a good call with one of the people in the restaurant space in that market, and everybody we were talking to that knows the space is really enthusiastic about what we're doing. So thanks, Chris, for jumping on board and setting up the call. Of course, our rock solid rock star, William Mathis. Good morning. The guy's unbelievable. Pamela, hello. Lloyd Ferguson, hello. Siri Escobar, hello. Juan down in Houston. Juan's also taken on that market, and he's going to get that open. I think they just started to work down there and get using the strategy we're talking about with Tony, is open up a market, get consolidation in a part of that market, and then just start expanding there. That's why we want to take on these 8 or 10 markets we're talking about. We've got to get going, guys. It's important for the company's growth that we can show that we can compete against any of these guys and actually take market share from them. So it's really critical that people understand that. So if you're kind of waiting for something to happen, the only person that makes anything happen in your world is you. So it's just getting up and making it happen. you know, I always like to use Tony as an example, because a pro athlete, when they decide to go to that level, they're walking in a lonely area. There's nobody really championing them, saying, "Hey, great job," because the guy that's going to say that is his competitor, you know. So they get to walk through this jungle to be a superstar, and the chances of somebody making it in the pros or just to get to pros is enormous. So this is the same thing. You guys have the opportunity to break new ground and do things, and that's why I'm gonna announce some stuff in a minute for you guys to really look at. You know, it's your own self. What do you want to do? I mean, George Graham called me yesterday, and we were having some fun because he's on the cusp of knocking something out of the park. Where if he just got a few thousand restaurants, he'd be making $1 million+ a year in passive income with us. That's not chopped liver. And I told George, I said, look, when you get your new boat and you need somebody to come down there and work on your boat, I'll be happy to come down there. So it's those are the dreams that make the world go round. You know, George has worked his entire life, you know, hard work every day. And this is his opportunity. And I got to tell you, the guy's a natural sales guy, because he's not as he only got that. And I don't want to announce it yet, but he's got another chain teed up for about 250 restaurants. And he says, you know, I'm really a lot better at getting the bigger guys than the smaller guys. I said, whatever works for you, brother, keep doing it, because we love what you're doing. Anyway, George, once again, you're just a terrific guy, and we want to wish you all the success. Pamela Pitkin, we just want to thank you. And I know that you've been you got the Firehouse Subs in, I think it's DC. And we're looking forward to you, you know, really jumping on board and making this work. I know you've been in contact with Evelyn and Amy and stuff like that. So congrats on that. And there's more, as you know, other restaurants around your market that will just jump out in front of you as we start to light these up. We are not having, maybe occasionally we have a problem with somebody says, oh, I want to wait and see. By and large, you know, when you have a Fortune 100 company jump up and said, hey, you know, don't do anything. We're here. We want you to take care of our business. He said, we just got to get the rest of the programming finished up this week. So that's all good. Mike Jones. Hello, good morning. Safe Rides 247. I don't know who that is.
That's Tarab.
Who?
Tarab.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Tarab.
We know who you are, Tarab.
How you doing, buddy? I know you're just getting off to a little bit of a slow start, but just keep ramping it up and getting people that want to go to work and bring on those drivers. The minute we get the requisite amount of drivers we want in Toronto, we'll be lighting up, you know, all of that marketplace immediately, including the Caribbean restaurants. Michael Rickoff. Michael has done a super job for the company and for the marketers. He sends out leads every week. And just so you know, I do check those and who's opening their emails and who's not. And, you know, if you want to be a winner, you're going to have to open that email, because he's sending you leads that are not cold leads. These are hot leads. So you guys should jump on top of those.
Kevin and Laurel signed up another restaurant.
Yeah, Kevin and Laurel in Tucson. They're doing an unbelievable job. I think the other day, Kevin signed up 3 restaurants.
I think 3 in one day. He had so much cash in his computer that it wouldn't allow the person to pay.
Yeah, so he had to clear his cash and get it. Oh, the system broke, but not really. Anyway, he got those lined up. So he's probably, I would say, couple 2 weeks away from maybe lighting that market up. He's got to get drivers and some consumers on the app, but he's doing a phenomenal job getting restaurants signed up. So we're ready for that. Along with Lori and what's her name? Morehead City.
Oh yeah, Lori, it was funny. Bob's sister was talking about, I think they also call your area Atlantic Beach.
Yeah,
Is that what
something
you-
like that.
And I said, oh, I know where that is. That's Moorhead City. We're
Yeah.
going to be opening there. We were all
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah, so it's nice to know people that know that market. Okay, everybody, let's see how many. Yeah, we're about ready to start.
Yeah.
Let me go through. I don't have a long list of stuff. Thank God, things are getting amped up pretty well. What's starting to show now are the leadership that's coming into the company and what they're doing to expand their markets. There's some leaders that are still waiting. We know they're leaders because we know their history. So the ones that are still waiting, what's going to happen is what's going to happen. I'll tell you what's going to happen in Tucson. I'll tell you what's going to happen in Moorhead City, and I'll tell you what's going to happen in, Nashville. In some of these markets, they're just going to get. It's going to be a land grab, like Tony said. And when they go in there, like right now, the only dominant player in Tucson, and when he opens, I guarantee you that viral nature, he'll be the guy that people are going to be referring to sign up another 100 restaurants. So you guys, if you're in the Tucson market or the Phoenix market, get after it.
And Laurel, don't leave her out.
When you see George Graham get his first check and he's got 2,000 restaurants signed up, you guys are going to blow your mind. You're going to say, well, I should have done that. Well, yeah, you should have. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. But it doesn't really matter. You just got to get after it. Don't let anything stand in your way. So anyway, let me walk you through a few things. So we extended the promotion that was supposed to end this Sunday night to the end of the month. And the reason for that, I didn't want to extend it. However, we're going to be announcing, and this is going to be the first bit of that announcement, Trip University, and we're going to be starting training classes as around April 1 or 2nd or 3rd. We haven't figured out the date yet. We're doing the curriculum. These classes are for marketers only. So if you're not a marketer, you're not going to be able to take the class with us. And it's going to be full curriculum. It's not going to be hit or miss. There'll be a test. We'll video it. We'll set it up where you log in, and then you can take the class remotely or whatever. So you're not held back because you can't be on the training. It's going to be there. So the test will be basically on the 5 or 6 things in the company that are important. How do I sign up a driver? How do I sign up a restaurant? All the fundamentals. What's this program look like? What's that program? I don't want to get into too much depth because it's going to be very comprehensive. After the test is after the classes are done, you will then take a test. That test you'll become, if you pass the test, which I would say, high percentage of people are going to pass this test. It's not going to be that difficult. So don't get intimidated because it's a test. When in doubt, mark 3. So don't worry. We're going to make sure. And if you don't pass the test, we'll just let you rerun it again and take some more classes. But we want everybody to pass. But the principal reason behind the testing is for you to learn about the business. This is your business. We need to make you an expert. So once you complete that class, you'll get a couple things. One is you'll be a certified marketer. And what that means is you're going to receive 2,500 options for each of you that have taken the test and signed up, but you have to be a marketer first. So you're going to earn 2,500 options. There's a couple of nuanced things we haven't worked out about the certified marketer. Tony and I have some work to do this week to kind of smooth that out and decide. And then Evelyn and Amy and all of us will be working on the curriculum and what the test will look like and things like that. So we'll have that up in the first week in April. We want everybody that's a marketer to take this class. That's why we're giving 2,500 options out. That should be enough motivation. If you guys do your job out there lighting up markets, this company's stock price could go through the roof. It could be $20, $30 a share. I can't tell you it's going to be that, but I do know the traction. If we get these 8 or 10 markets open and start doing business in those markets, Katie bar the doors. There'll be nothing to stop. We could put 75 markets up. And that's part of the reason. And we had this talk yesterday, Tony and I, that's part of the reason to go after these smaller chunks in markets, grow virally within those markets, but then we can operate in multiple markets around the United States. I mean, there's no reason we couldn't do 70 or 75 markets, but we need your help to do it, and we want to reward you. So we're putting 2,500 options up to become a certified marketer. We're going to look at some other compensation, maybe that drives out of the markets. We haven't figured that out as the certified marketer. And then the top 10% of the people that pass the test, the top 10% of the class will move on to what we're going to call their master marketer. Okay. That person will then become like a regional trainer. That person will be holding meetings. However, that person, and we don't know what the size of that market looks like. It could be a whole state. I mean, like Florida, we may have one guy that gets all of those cities: Tampa, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm, Orlando, Jacksonville, Tallahassee. Might be, or maybe split in two. We don't know yet. But we will give that person an override in the market of all the revenues, and a big slug of stock options also. And that'll be renewed, as we're moving forward. There's going to be certain things that if you're going to be a master marketer, you have to hit goals. This is not about, easy stuff. This is about jumping in and making some serious money. But you can see what George is doing with one chain and what he can do with 2 chains or 3 chains. Everybody has that same opportunity to do the same thing. We're not going to hold anybody back, believe me. And one of the things George asked when he first signed these guys up was, are you going to take care of me in all these, restaurants? And I said, of course, it's built in our model. And I think George was kind of surprised in a way that there's no limits on it. It's wide open. We want him to hold that check up, although we're not supposed to, I guess. But hey, man, I just knocked it out of the park, and you can do it too. That's the thing. So that's what's coming down the road. So it's gonna be Trip University. We'll have all the bells and whistles with it. Unlimited potential for all of you. You have to be a marketer to qualify to take the class. The reason for that is we want people committed to the business. And believe me, when you start seeing the amount of money that's going to start flying around here, you're going to be blown away, because there's a significant amount of money to be earned, and that can influence and change your lifestyle. So we'll be talking about that over the next couple of weeks. As we refine it, we'll keep you up to speed, all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot on our end we have to finish up, but that's what we're going to be doing. We want you guys to be thoroughly trained. So if somebody asks you that weird kind of question, you'll be able to answer it, because, people in the field ask questions that we may not even think of. And so let me give you an update on some of the software changes we've just done. If you go into your back office right now, the leaderboard is now operational. So it's keeping track of people. And it rates the top people in those respective categories. So that's live. So if you haven't been back in your back office, which I do know who goes back there too, because I look at that, because I want to work with the people that are productive. It's self-starters. Again, Tony get where he was because he was waiting for his tennis coach to show up or somebody to clap and say, hey, Tony, you're doing a good job on the court. Tony was out there hours before practicing. So, that whole adage, practice makes perfect, and it really does. So anyway, the leaderboard's up. Push notifications through the apps are up. You have to have your app on. I would recommend you turn on. It doesn't hurt the app. You can run it 24/7. Turn both your driver app and your consumer app on. And then we're going to be notifying certain kinds of information through the app to you, because it's instantaneous. And we can do a lot of things on the fly, which are important. We didn't have name and address on the billing. So people just put in their card number and et cetera. And we had to get that fixed, or else we would have been out of compliance. So name and addresses for billing purposes is now required on all transactions. You'll see it when it comes up. It'll ask for billing name and address. Not any different than anybody else. Yeah, I just did.
Okay. Could you explain how to turn this notification on?
No.
Okay, so we did
Did you
it.
push the on button?
Yeah. So just real quick, because this is a really cool feature and you're really going to like it. But if you don't have it turned on, you're not going to know about it. So we did a test on Bob's, and I just waited for him to say something, and he didn't say anything. And I said, did you get a notification? He said, no. So I looked at his phone, and his notifications are not turned on.
Yeah.
So if you don't get the notification, you can still go see it. You open up your app and there's a little bell in the top right corner. And if you touch that bell, there's a little, all the notifications you've ever been sent are right there. But that doesn't really help you. You actually want to get notified that you got a new sign up. So you need to go on your app settings, whatever kind of device you have, and turn them always allow notifications. And it's the same thing if you're a driver. I don't know how you're going to drive if you can't get notified that there's an order, because I know that happened this week too. Someone said, I never got notified. And we said, well, are your notifications turned on? No. Okay, well, that's kind of all this works. We have to be able to notify you. So just so you know, it's a really cool feature and we worked really hard on it, and I really want you to get notified. So please turn on your notifications.
So this will notify you if you had somebody you recommended signed up and they signed up, it'll push notification, hey, Joe Blow just signed up. And then, you know, you can contact them right away and say, hey, welcome on board. They'll get an email from us. Part of this training we're talking about is things like this. When some new comes on board, we can give them the right information that's correct. That's the reason for doing the testing and the work, is we need to replicate ourselves in a big way to open these markets. And this is part of that notification process.
And it will give you their name and if they signed up as a customer or driver.
Yeah. So anyway, you guys start turning on your apps if you're going to be engaged. You know, if you don't want to get engaged, you want to take the snooze route, you know, you can do that too. See notifications and maps. Oh, okay. So
this next one is, we have a whole list of features here for Bob to go over with you. This next one is, we get a lot of complaints. I downloaded the customer app and there's nothing there. Well, there's nothing there because you're in a market that's not open yet. So we are putting up a sign that says,
not open yet.
The exact words. Yeah, Trip Deliveries is coming soon to your market or something. It is live on the Android right now. It didn't get pushed for some reason on the last update for Apple, so it will be on the iOS next update. And they're also pushing next week, so it will be on the online marketplace. So if you search an unopened area, it will say we're not open, but we're coming soon.
Yeah, last week we had probably 7 or 8 updates on the apps. We're just doing them all the time, constant. You know, that just shows the kind of work that these guys are putting in to get everything the way we want it. We are at the tail end of almost all development now. The only thing really left, the big push, is getting Verb up. And we sent Verb over our last bit of stuff we were supposed to do. So they've got it, it's in their hands. So once they're done with that, then we, you know, get sent back to us, and then we'll flip the switch on it and get it up and running. QR code is now working on the Refer and Earn tab. So the QR code is automatically made, correct?
Yes. You want me to show it to you?
Yeah. Can you just show it to us?
Because this I thought was really cool. I think this turned out even better than.
So you don't have to worry about how do I make a QR code anymore. It's made automatically for you. Just click the button and makes it, and then you can email it out or text it out or whatever. So you don't have to go to qrcode.com anymore.
Okay, can you see my phone? That way too far away. I made a little video this week for this too. This is on all social media. So here is your Refer and Earn tab. See the little QR code box in the corner? I don't know if you can see that, it's tiny, but you click here and that's how you regular share, okay? So if you click over here on the QR code, there it is, comes up. And then you could either just, if you're sitting with somebody, they could scan it right from you. You know, they just open up their camera app to scan it, if you don't know that. And then you could share here, you can email, text, Instagram, you know, however it is you want to share it. So you got the refer a driver, refer a customer, refer a merchant QR codes.
So it's pretty cool. It's trying to automate everything for you. Also, just so everybody knows, in the food business, once that order is placed, there are no cancellations because the food prep has already started. They started cooking the order, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So keep in mind, that's what's going on. You need to tell that to people. I'm sure the restaurants are going to ask you about that because there's nothing they can do with the food after they cook it if nobody wants it. I mean, if somebody ordered it and they try to cancel it, so it's a problem. So just keep that on top of mind. We also added the word on the consumer app. So it says customer on it. And then on the driver app it says driver. So there should be no confusion what app if you're a customer and you want to start there, it says it right on the app and gets it, gets working. Also the MID, which is the merchant ID, is on the driver app. So the driver has their MID number right there. In case there's an issue, they can look it up. It's right in their face. So,
and you need that if you ever need to contact Click to change your deposit information. They're going to need that MID ID from you.
Let me see. Did I cover the notifications? Code cancellation. I think that's about.
While we're talking about the features, there is a question here that we're working on right now from Steven. People having problems putting in their address. We are aware there is some kind of an issue. It's on the Android phone. Yeah. So it's an autofill. So you just start typing and it automatically populates from Google. The reason is because all of our service is location based. But if you're having a problem, there's two different problems. One problem is my address doesn't show. So if that's the case, if you would please send me what that address is so that we can investigate it further. Just because if it is an address that's not on Google Maps, it will not populate. And if you're driving, you can always just put the PIN. It doesn't have to be your exact location for that, so that's okay. But the other problem is you're telling, I'm hearing, I haven't actually seen it yet, so I need to see it so we can fix it. That you're not able to save the address or it's changing the address or something like that. A few people have said that, but I need to actually see it so I can find out. So if you could, Stephen, send me that information. We do have programming looking at it right now.
But also just keep in mind, it's an autofill product that comes from Google and it'll start to populate almost immediately. And one of the problems is when it starts to populate, you try to, keep up with typing. You don't need to. All you gotta do is click on it and it autofills everywhere. So just keep that in mind. But if you do have a problem, get it over to Amy or Evelyn right away so they can get the tech guys on it. But I know they're working on it. It's supposed to have a resolution or at least some information Monday on it. Yeah. Okay, Tony, you got anything you want to cover? I know you got to jump off the call in a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's all good to go. I mean, we're literally setting things up to where people can target a market and get restaurants, drivers, and customer downloads, and I'm ready to flip the switch for you. So there's no need to wait on anybody. I mean, you can literally start popping markets as quick as you guys want. It's up to you. Yeah, exactly. And if you're not sure of a market you want to work in, give Tony a call or myself, and we'll walk you through that. We have a lot of interesting people coming on board to the company right now. Some really strong marketers, there's restaurateurs, there's all kinds of people that are coming on that really understand the viability of our product and how it will over time disrupt this industry big time.
Oh, one thing I wanted you to tell Tony is they're going to be able to sign up online as marketers.
Oh yeah. I forgot to tell you, they're set it up where from the back office, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, from the back office, they'll be able to sign up as a marketer. So that's
coming. That's part of the stuff that we're working on Verb.
Yeah. So once with that Verb gets done, then it goes up with everybody at the same time.
And there's a lot of questions about the QR code thing. So these QR codes are for your referral link off of your phone.
Yeah.
So if you are trying to use that online QR code, the online in your back office registration replicated site, that's the link that's only available in your back office. I don't think they put QR codes back there. The QR codes are only on the phone. Yeah. So that one, you could still use the QR code maker, QR code monkey, and there's also instructions how to use that in the back office for you. So these are only the referral links on your phone.
Geez, in about 2 or 3 weeks, on these Saturday calls, there's not going to be much to talk about, a bunch of rah stuff about how big you guys are in these markets, because none of this stuff it's all done. It's all up and running. So we'll probably be focusing heavily on the training side of the business once we get all this other stuff finished up. What else you got?
Questions?
Yeah, we could take a few questions.
Meredith asked and a restaurant asked me a question, but can you answer it? And she didn't give the question.
Oh, who was that?
Meredith.
Meredith, you gotta set the question up for us.
Hold on. Okay, so this is good.
Yeah.
I have a driver that has T-Mobile and they can't text. They called T-Mobile and T-Mobile said it's our fault.
Yep, it is.
It is our fault.
No.
And we keep getting taken off and then we get put back on.
So here's the problem. When you guys send out a text message or an email and you do it in bulk, it causes serious problems for us. We get tagged as a spammer. So they just shut us off on T-Mobile, and they're the most sensitive one. You guys got to learn. All you're doing is when you do this and you think it's cool, I'm going to send out, 20,000 emails or text messages or whatever the number is. All it does is impair the company, and then we get blacklisted, and then we're no matter what we do, there's nothing we can do. We just have to be over time get taken off the list. And this happened to us a year and change ago. And they finally got us off the blacklist, and almost literally within a month or two, we went right back on, because the abuse of using the system to spam people basically caused the problem. And we know where those come from, and if we have it's a serious problem now. But if people don't take corrective action for their behavior to do this and not to do it, and most of you're not supposed to, then it's gonna come back to the company. We're gonna have to do something, because you're impairing everybody else's business.
And you're spamming people.
Yeah, so that's a big no-no. So we're gonna be on the alert for that. We already know the ones that have caused this problem now. So we're just monitoring it. So there's nothing we can do right now with T-Mobile.
We do have a workaround though. You can create a Bitly.
Yeah, you can create a Bitly. That's a workaround. So
The directions are in your back office.
yeah. Okay. What else you got?
Is Orlando open?
I get the same question. Every market in the United States is open. Here's a rush. Check this out. We spent a ton of money getting Toronto open, Canada open. Guess how many drivers are signed up?
Oh, then you guys can see if you go on your market.
Yeah, you can see what's signed up. It's one driver. We have literally, between Ghost Kitchens and the Caribbean restaurants, we probably have, equivalency of 100 restaurants that we could put online tomorrow morning if we had more drivers. So it's really up to you guys. It's just like asking Orlando. I've mentioned Orlando almost on every call, because Orlando, West Palm Beach, Miami, Fort Lauderdale are key markets for us with restaurant managers. So we need drivers in those. We have drivers signed up. If you guys have worked with Michael, he definitely has leads for all these markets. So we need to get these markets opened sooner than later. So yeah, Orlando's open, but factually, every market in the United States is open. You can sign up anybody in any market, any restaurant. But if you sign up one, that doesn't mean you stop. You need to continue to sign up so we can open or recruit people that will help you open those markets. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay.
If I sign up to be a marketer, can I still drive?
Yes, of course you can drive. If you're a marketer, you're still able to drive.
So let me explain something. There's two ways to sign up for Trip Delivers: a customer or a driver. That's it. Then, if you want to be paid as a marketer at the highest level of the company, you get invited to special events, you get to participate in the training program, you get a marketer video, you get leads, then you become a marketer. So if you're a customer, it's on your Refer and Earn tab on your customer app. If you're a driver, it's on your Refer and Earn tab on your driver. That's it.
Yeah, it's not hot. Try to just keep it simple in your head, and it's not that difficult. Every time we get a marketer sign up, we send to them a personal video that they can show to restaurants or recruiting or anything. So it's your own personal video. So keep in mind, we're here to help you at every step. What else you got?
Sorry. Miles and Ron are saying, please go in the App Store and give a 5-star review.
Yeah, that's the other thing you guys can do is you can help us get the app out I mean, one of the things that you guys are not doing that's really important, I've mentioned this other times, you need to think about how to replicate yourself and how to refer the app and refer people. I've said, if you really want to build this company, we have these Saturday calls and they haven't been built. I mean, we still have the same basic people on this call. I don't see any real new people like in gobs. I mean, if there's 100 people that are on this call, then you should have 100 new people on this call every week. You should bring one new person, each of you, one new person a week on this call. And if they sign up and then they come, and they like what they hear, then you should say to them, you want to replicate yourself, bring one new person to this call. I've had calls where you have 5,000 people, 10,000 people by using that process. It doesn't take long. Just do the numbers. You have 100. And if you had 100 coming, that's 200. And everybody keeps doing that. You can replicate. You can dominate a marketplace very, very quickly. Keep in mind, this is not network marketing. It's really affiliate marketing, referral marketing. But the payout at the first 2 and 3 levels that we have, or connect points, are much greater than any network marketing company for what you do. I mean, like in George's case, but George is the only one. There's probably 2 or 3 or 4 others I haven't mentioned that are doing well. They're signed up restaurants and they're gonna knock it out of the park. And you're not just limited to the town you live in. If you figure out how you can recruit in other areas or build relationships with restaurateurs or whatever, you can move in and out of markets all you want. So it's enough said on that. Orlando is wide open. We need drivers there immediately. And George Graham will help you with that. If you guys, don't know George, you can look him up or get in contact with him. Also, Williams Mathis is up in, DC, but he went down to Miami and signed up 27 restaurants. I think about 2 months ago, and he's going back down now to get them lit up. So there's the U.S. is your oyster, so to speak. You can work wherever you want.
Pamela has 2 really good questions.
Okay.
From Dan, though. So I don't know. She's got somebody telling her what to write.
Oh, okay.
Is there a radius?
Like me.
Exactly. Is there a radius restriction on how far restaurants can set their delivery area? If not, is the $1 per mile paid to drivers capped at some point?
Okay, so 2 things.
It's not $1 a month.
I know.
Yeah.
There's 2 things. One is their radius is 10 miles right now. Okay. We're not open in every of these markets, but when we open, we set the radius for 10 miles. And then we'll see how it plays out. More denser markets, obviously more traffics, longer lead times through the traffic. So it'll depend. It could be 7 miles in a highly, highly trafficked area that's congested. And there is no dollar a mile after that. It's 75 cents. And by the way, we'll be looking at each one of these markets as a market. So we might be 75 cents in one market, but another market, we might be 50 cents. We may lower the price on the first mile, or if there's an opportunity to raise it, we'll raise it. We're trying to be competitive in the marketplace with our competitors and still put the most amount of money in the pocket of the driver.
And also, the restaurant can change the delivery radius in their merchant panel.
Yeah.
If they would like it to only be 5 miles, they can do that.
Yeah. Did you guys hear that? The merchant can actually change. You guys need to get in the restaurant back office, and that's part of what the training is going to be on, where you can see all the activity, how you set your pricing, coupon codes, all of that in the restaurant dashboard or panel.
This is her other one, and she's new. So.
Okay. How new are you?
Can a free month be offered to drivers?
Okay, so here's this really a good question.
They probably don't know. So,
yeah, so this is a really good question, actually. Just so you know, we don't call it a free month, but none of the drivers pay up front for the month. They pay at the back end of the month. So they're always getting commissions paid to them through their own merchant ID daily as they're driving, they're earning, right? So they're getting all the money for 30 days. They don't pay us until the end of the 30 days.
And
So it's like driving for free, but we don't call it free. We just do it on the back end. We want people to earn money. I want drivers who are struggling to put money in their pockets. It doesn't matter to me whether we take the $39.99 or the $99.99 up front. Okay. I don't care if we do or don't. I wanted to put more money in the driver's pockets. That's why I said, let them drive for 30 days. We'll bill them at the end of the month. I don't think there's a SaaS operator around, software as a service of any business that lets you do it. They might let you have, a 7 or 14 day free trial, but I don't want to do that. I just think that's, a waste of time. Just let them go out there and start earning. We'll see. Like it came up this week we had a presentation, and what came out of that was, wow, these drivers.
He said the driver made $15 on that order. So basically 2 more orders and he paid for his side hustle driver.
Yeah, it was $13 that the driver made on this. And, 3 orders are done. So you could do 3 orders in a day, or you could do 3 orders over 2 days, or whatever it might be. So the rest of on this case, it's 75 deliveries. So it took him, 3 deliveries. So he's got 72 deliveries to go, and all of it's paid for. He has nothing else to pay because the first 3 rides or first 3 deliveries paid for that $39, coverage. So, but yes, or no, we do not have free delivery. You can drive for 30 days, pay us at the end of the month. Anything else?
Yeah. If someone signed up a driver by accident, I want you to tell what we did so they don't sign up as a driver by accident. Mm-hmm. But then how do they become a mark?
Okay. So if you signed up as a driver by accident, can you pull up this?
I'm pulling it up.
So before you sign up, we put like a stop sign that says, hey, make sure this is what you really want to do, because if you sign up and you don't complete the process, then it's going to cause nothing but problems for you through the system, because we're all geolocated and cell phone number driven, right? So once you put in, the first thing you put in is your cell number after you get past this warning, and that causes a problem. But here's what everybody sees when they go to sign up. Let me pull this down. So you can see, this is when you go to sign up and you check that box down in the bottom corner and you see this warning: don't sign up if you don't intend to be a driver. So
if you go past that and then you realize, I don't want to be a driver, at that point you have to contact support. We have to make you a customer. We are getting a button next week so that we will be able to just make you a customer again. Yeah. But we put this big warning, and I know that we already had someone this week that said, I didn't read it. Okay, well then I'm gonna need 24 hours to make you back into a customer.
Yeah.
So
it's not that we don't want to help, but it's a major pain for us to individually every time go in and fix that. That's why we put the warning there.
Because it triggers a lot of things.
And I think
you start this, you create your driver mid. There's a whole bunch of things. You want to read what it says?
Yeah, let me just read it, because right away it says attention, attention. It's not like attention or hey, by the way, it's attention, attention.
Or if you have time, read this.
Yeah. It says drivers only. This is a notice for you to be 100% sure you want to be a driver. Once you start the process of signing up, you will need to complete the application process, period. Incomplete signups will delay you from proceeding with trip. Please have the following available before you start the process. So we even tell you so you don't have to think about it. Here you need a current driver's license, current car registration, current insurance in your name, and be prepared to take a selfie.
And notice that in your name,
yeah,
because that has been a big hiccup with you guys with the driver verification. You go back and forth and say, I have the insurance on my car. It's not in your name. If you're not listed as a driver on the insurance, you will not get approved to drive.
And it's not us, it's the insurance companies require that. So at the very bottom, it says, check the box before you start the driver sign up process. So if you don't check the box, you can't get started anyway. So by having checked the box, that's an assumption that you've already read all this information. You understand what you read, and you understand that, If you don't want to be a driver, don't go forward. And we're not penalizing people, you know,
No, it's not
look,
a big deal.
we just want to caution you so you don't waste your time and cause us to put people on a problem that we don't need to have.
Are the marketer benefits in the back office?
Yes, the marketer benefits are in the back office.
They are also on your refer and earn tab. If you click on be a marketer, even before you have to pay, Dee, you could see what the benefits are that are going to be listed there. And if you need help, support can help you. They can send you the benefits also. Support@tripdelivers.com.
Yeah.
Pamela says, I'd like to be the first to sign up for Trip University in case you'd like to flag me.
Yeah.
Sure, Pam, you can be the valedictorian too.
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe we'll give awards away for the
We
top
should.
3 positions,
Yeah, that'd
you
be
know,
fun.
maybe a trip or something.
Mhm. Do my,
Once COVID's over,
Yeah.
I keep losing my mind that it's gone, but it's not.
do my marketer sign up show them as a marketer in my back office?
Yes.
So I will show customer marketer, driver marketer.
Right.
Those are the 4 things.
That's the whole reason also for the notification. You'll get pinged immediately once somebody signs up that you refer. So keep those apps on. If you haven't turned them on, turn on the location services. So that way you're always on, you know, in the mix with what's going on.
What stops Trip Delivers is from Dan. What stops Trip Delivers from pulling the funds from us once Trip Delivers is up and running without a contract?
What?
I'm not sure where you mean pulling the funds from us.
Are you talking about changing our business model from
Oh.
referral to we don't need you anymore?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know if that's what you mean, but the short answer is that's not our business model. Our business model is exactly what we have. So we're dependent on you to get us up and running and you to enjoy the residual income. So we're not in the business to change midstream. I mean, I can tell you that there's a couple of handfuls of people in this company that besides myself and Amy and the management of the company and other people, employees inside the company, there's been a loyal group that have stood by us, and we're not going to do anything like that. It's not our business model. So, I mean, I can name a half a dozen guys right now and gals that have been with us from day one and, you know, have had the opportunity to go do something else and have chosen to, you know, not only wait it out, but, you know, get in the mix and work with people and continue to recruiting. So no, we're not in the business of changing, and we won't change, period.
Millard Hodge would like to contact you. He lives in Houston. He's ready to fire it up. Millard, send an email to support and they'll get it to Bob.
Yeah, send a support email. We also have people in Houston right now that are working. One of them's on this call, which is Juan, and he's going to knock it out of the park. And he's ready to partner up with anybody that wants to come to that Houston market. He knows the market really well. He's identified a piece of that marketplace, and that's what he's working on right now.
Can we recruit in Canada and the US?
You can recruit both countries, Canada and the US. There's no restrictions on anybody.
What has been effective to find drivers?
What is what?
What has been effective? Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook is really effective. We use it a lot, and we recruit drivers, just so you know, but we turn them over to Michael. Michael then turns them over to marketers. So we recruit because, you know, I've mentioned it 100 times. Use this, it's free. You know, it's a business portal that Facebook has. You can list, you know, drivers wanted, whatever. But work with Michael Ricalov. He knows the business. He's a really, really smart marketer, and he can help you and guide you through that. But look, when we run an ad, we'll get 20, 30 drivers sign up with us. And that's a day. So I would recommend using that. It's free, and you can stimulate growth in your market. And then list, say, hey, I'm in this market. This is where I'm looking for drivers.
Pamela is asking, I think this is compression. If my Connect One quits, I will inherit his restaurants, drivers, and customers, and I get a new Connect free.
I can't even really answer that for you.
We could move those restaurants, drivers and customers under you, and you could get someone else to replace that Connect One, but we don't have compression, if that's what.
No, compression is differently. It's different. But yeah, we haven't really addressed that. I would suspect that anybody that has any restaurants is not going to be resigning from the company because it's residual income, 40 cents a pop. But if it does, we'll work that out. I'll talk to Tony about that. It's the first I've had anybody ask that question.
Can I employ people overseas to help with my social media marketing?
You could, yeah, if you want to hire somebody to help you with your social media marketing, absolutely, you can hire whoever you want. But keep in mind, this is your business. This is unlike any other delivery company. You guys get exactly maximum payout for your work. All the other companies, they take, I don't have to tell you, they get the 30% and this percent and that percent, and the driver gets shafted. And that's not what our program's about. It's I had somebody ask me the other day about restaurants, and how are we different than the competitor out there who says, hey, we want to save the restaurants, right? We're the only one in the whole space that actually can say we're doing something economically for the restaurants to help save them. We're the only one that has a flat price that's under, it depends on the pricing, but we're at a minimum 10% of an order. But the larger the order, the smaller percent. I mean, we could go down to 2%, 1.5% on an order. So if it's $100 order at $2, it's 2%. And everybody else is at 30%. So on a $100 order, it's $33. So would you rather pay $33 on a $100 order or $2? It's a pretty easy answer. But we're the only ones that can say that because our business model is helping the restaurants. It's keeping money in their pockets. And the same thing for drivers at 100%, And this is hard for people. Oh, I get this for free. Well, there are, you guys heard me say before, there's no free lunches out there because they just build it in the pricing model that you've already paid for it as a restaurateur. So there are no free lunches. There's no free deliveries. There's none of that. It's all nonsense. We look at the business differently than everybody else. We look at the business from a cost standpoint. First, what's it cost us to run our business? And then we start building a model after that. So we know it's going to take, if we have 10,000 people, what kind of, support levels are we going to have? We're going to have VIP and then this, and we're going to have this and then that. That's all been scoped out in our numbers. So we have multiple business. We have one business model, but multiple plans to develop based on growth.
Prince says, when you send your QR code to someone in your phone, how will they open it on their phone? Prince, I just did it. So do it to yourself and see what happens. Sometimes you got to do some stuff to help yourself,
Yeah.
Comes up, it also gives you the link. D, is the $3.99 for a marketer one time or annual?
It's annual.
Are drivers still getting charged $1 to get signed up in an inactive market?
Yes, $1. Just so you know, it's amazing how people don't want to, pay $1. And the reason why we pay $1 is we want to activate their card. We want to make sure it works. We don't want to sit around and wait for a month or two, and then we're going to light you up and the card doesn't work. And then we're going to go back and forth and all that kind of stuff. We want to get you in the system, get you in the proper place, and get ready to kick it off. And that's the reason for the $1. We don't make any money on the $1, believe me.
So Bruno would like us to clarify that if you are a driver marketer, you're paying a $3.99 to be a marketer, but when your market opens, you will still pay the monthly to be a driver.
Yeah, yes.
People are getting confused.
Yeah, the monthly for a driver, but keep in mind, nobody else is doing anything like this. You don't pay. You're going to be collecting money for 30 days before you ever pay. If it's $39.99 or $99.99. So you look, you could say, hey, I'll work for a month, and then that's good for me. I'm done. You could have made $1,000 or $1,500 or whatever or more, and kept the money and say I'm not paying my monthly. I mean, you could do that. I mean, we're probably, I hate to say this, we probably wouldn't even bother to chase you for that because it costs more than that to fire up lawyers. So I guess what I'm saying, please keep people from abusing that.
So
Okay,
Pamela,
one more question, then we got to jump.
okay, two more questions.
Okay.
So Pamela, with the 99 you're talking about, she's in an unopened market, she paid 99. You're paying for the annual subscription. That's different than the activation fee. So if you already paid that, that's fine.
She
But
paid
when
99
She paid the membership fee,
for restaurants.
the annual. So she was, and paid the annual, but she hasn't paid the activation fee because her market's not open yet.
Yeah.
So prior to your market opening, you'll be charged the annual. We'll reach out to you. I'll have Evelyn reach out to you to explain. And then Dee wants to know if drivers accept all deliveries but fail to reach the subscription fee, is there a consideration? I'll tell you, Dee, there is a consideration. We have not charged Nashville yet.
We haven't charged a driver a penny anywhere yet. And we're not going to until we are satisfied the market is working. You know, everybody's, you know, got plenty of rides or plenty of deliveries to sustain their business model.
Okay, one more. Pamela, because she signed up her own restaurant, so she's asking about the 40 cents. So if you signed up your own restaurant, Pamela, and then you go and sign up customers that come and order at your restaurant, you're going to get 40 cents per delivery, and then you're going to get 40 cents every time those customers place an order for delivery. So basically, you're going to get 80 cents per order at if you referred the customer also. So then if you're a member, so you're only going to pay trip, what, 20 cents for pickup?
Yeah.
Yeah, and $1.20 for delivery.
So this is a unique part about the business model. We don't restrict restaurant owners, so you can participate. You can share the app with you know, all your customers. Obviously, that's the power of what we're doing. That's why it takes longer, because we're changing the way people do business. So it takes time to ingrain, so this becomes second nature. But yeah, you'll make a ton of money by sign up your own restaurant and go sign up a friend's restaurant, and then you can participate in that too. And if they're smart, they'll do what you did, you know? So there's plenty of money to be made here. You know, we had to make an adjustment on some stuff, and we just don't have, everything we do is by design in our business model. We know how much profit we have, and we know how much profit we don't have to go do stuff. So when somebody says, oh, you should do this because they do that, well, yeah, you're just getting gouged along the way. We're straightforward. Here's what our numbers look like, and we know exactly what it takes to get to profitability. In fact, this is the crazy thing. If you guys lit up all these markets we're talking about, which are another 8 to 10, you know, it just depends, because we got Salt Lake City, you know, we got Tucson coming, we got all these different. Just say we lit them all up in the next 90 to 120 days. Let's say it's 120 days, and we got good traction in all these markets, not maxed out, just good traction. Our company could actually be profitable. And that's pretty staggering with about 12 markets open. So keep that in mind.
There's one more thing I want to mention, because Michelle just said, make sure you open a separate account so that you can pay for your monthly for decades. That's against company policy, Michelle. So I'm going to be looking at your account today. I'm going to be contacting you to find out which account you want to keep, because you are not allowed to have more than one account.
Plus, just think about it. When you start dividing your energy between two accounts, there's no way that you can manage two accounts and be dynamic and build your business. I don't care what you learned in the past, you know, it's nonsense. So just do one account and do it extraordinarily well, you know. Do you think George Graham or any of the people like George out there are going to be having multiple accounts? No. Just work with the one account you have and build that to a monster. Because then you take all your energy. You know, the book Focus I've talked about 100 times. Actually, I think it was, who was
Somebody
it?
texted you yesterday about
Yeah.
it. I can't remember.
Well, I was asked for the book. I sent him a copy of it. But that'll give you great insight. It's a short read. But if you just get focused on your business, and it's just like your life. If you want your life to be crazy, you'll keep doing crazy stuff. If you want your life to be productive, and I'm talking about your personal life, you have to change behavior. Same thing. You may have come from a network marketing background. They'll tell you, oh, you know, jump on this thing and, you know, sign up and get yourself 2-3 accounts. Really get yourself in position. Ask yourself, if you did that, how productive was that? It's a wrong-headed strategy. Just do one and do one thing only, and you'll be really surprised about the productivity out of one account that you can push.
Who's the author again?
Reese. You want?
Someone's asking. R-E-S-E.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to send it over to, it's Lamar that actually sent that.
It's posted on Facebook.
Yeah, it's posted on Facebook. I'll have them post, I'll send it over to support. So if anybody asks for it in support, they can just email it over to you right away. The book's been around 20 plus years. The fundamentals haven't changed, and you'll enjoy reading it. It's an easy read, but it's also about kind of doing one thing and stay focused on it. If you do that, you're going to be successful. And I've tried to do multiple stuff in my career. And every time I've done that, I've cheated myself. I've cheated the people I work with, you know, and the reason you only have so much energy you can develop or designate to one project. I mean, look, a guy like Elon Musk that has, you know, 6, 7 deals that are all leading edge deals is a rarity. I mean, it just really is. And he's magnificent, obviously. But if you tried to do that in your personal business life, it becomes very difficult to manage. So that's all I got, guys, on this round. I appreciate you jumping on board. I think we're good, right, Amy? We'll post that book up in the support, so anybody that's looking for it, the support can just email it out to you right away. Okay, everybody, have a great weekend. I appreciate that. We got a lot of stuff going on. This list is getting smaller by the week. So next week, I'm going to cut this list in half. And then we're going to really focus on the fun stuff, which is the training. We'll knock that out of the park. You guys are going to become experts, and you're going to watch your productivity go to, you know, straight like a hockey stick. Okay, guys, I'm